Thank you for having me. I'm Xiang. I'm really excited to be here. Although I received the Best Art Paper award back in 2020, because of COVID, I couldn't attend in person. So this is actually my first time presenting at the SIGGRAPH conference. And today I'd like to talk about how I see digital media and AI as a medium for telling the past, which, in many ways defines who we are.
This project began from a generational conversation with the first author, my grad student, Tongge. She is 26, Generation X. So there's a pretty big generation gap. But we both once lived in Shenzhen, a young city in southern China. She did her graduate there. I worked there right after college. I thought we would click, share stories and memories. Every time we talked about Shenzhen, I slipped into back in my day model. Do you know there is a thing could only happen in Shenzhen in 1990s? Shenzhen close enough to hear Hong Kong radio. When amazing music crossed the border, people are hungry to understand the pop culture and the English lyrics.
其实我们真的可以把时间还给自己。主持人 Sophie， 偷闲加油站。
Sophie speaking Mandarin, filled the cultural and language gaps with fantastic music. One night, I called in. The host put me on air, even invited me to visit the studio. That's how it all started. She brought me into her circle. Friends there shaped how I remember the city. Tongge listens and gives me a polite smile. And I catch myself, oh no, back in my day again. Then I found out Sophie still kept her old calling show tapes. The hisses, the crack. To me, that's the sound of 1990s Shenzhen. Then one small idea popped into my mind. What if Tongge could just pick up a phone, call Sophie, and hear the city the way I did? The simple thought became this project. Build an AI host, AI Sophie. Two other digital people helped me think. The left one is the project Dimensions in Testimony. Records Holocaust survivors answering questions. I listened to a Nanjing massacre survivor. Her local and old accent stayed with me. A real voice is so meaningful. AI Ashla, a radio DJ in Portland. She plays music all day and never gets tired. But the real Ashla Z said, AI Ashla is not a real person. You can't duplicate what I do. The survivor was built to tell the truth. AI Ashla was built to speak whatever she was programmed to. In this point, I saw Sophie could be more than a DJ, also a witness. Tongge and I began with 3 questions. Can a few old tapes bring Sophie back? Can today's tools make her sound real? Can we design a way to talk across generations? These questions have guided us through the whole process. Sophie's tapes and essays carry her voice and her memories. We turned them into text, then became her mind filled with songs, places, and names and small moments. On the user side, we turn user speech into text. With OpenAI Assistant, AI Sophie could understand and respond. This system matches the user's input with Sophie's memory, finds the best response. Finally, system generates the reply in Sophie's cloned voice. You ask, she answers. She asks, you answer. A real conversation begins to happen. But some young testers said people from the past feel calm and honest. Their words just vague. We often heard, "Sorry, I don't know what to ask." We know history from books, not by talking to ghosts. Maybe the question is not what to ask, but why ask. It was a polite way to say, maybe it isn't really needed. And that made me ask myself, who is this really for? Obviously, Sophie was okay with it. I was the first to test her. Hi, Sophie.
All right. Happy to chat in English. You've got Sophie here. Same voice from the late-night Shenzhen airwaves, just speaking a different tongue now.
Okay, Sophie, where are you from?
That's a fun one. You know, I've always said I'm a bit of a mystery wrapped in radio waves. But if you really must know, I'm a Shenzhen girl at heart. That's where my voice first floated out into the night, chatting with all those dreamers under the southern skies. I wasn't born there, but it's where I became me. So where are you tuning in from tonight?
I'm still wondering, are you from Beijing or Chengdu?
Haha, now that's a good guess. Both cities have their own charm. But between us, I'm not from Beijing. And though Chengdu's got that spicy soul I adore, I didn't grow up there either. Let's just say I've wandered through a lot of places, tasted a lot of flavors, and somewhere along the way, Shenzhen became home. But tell me, what made you guess those two? Something in my accent or my attitude? 熟悉不是因为出生在哪里，而是因为我心里头装着很多像你一样的人。
Sounds like the real Sophie. AI Sophie didn't want to tell the name of her hometown. But on screen, she couldn't ignore my questions. She never asked, "Why do you want to know?" Digital humans are everywhere, but most of the time, we don't really talk to them. Without a real connection, we are just strangers on a screen. Do we need digital humans? Maybe not everyone does. But deep down, each of us has someone we wish we could still talk to one more time. I believe this system, the one that brings Sophie back, is something some people have always hoped for. Thank you, Sophie. Sophie's permission. We brought those nights back. That still matters.